Okay, so we're going to look at one more element here that we can use. We're going to kind of wrap up this practice. It's been kind of a long one, but that's okay. We're really getting our feet wet now. With the CSS, because we're starting out, it's kind of, like, well, what are the things we can do? Okay. You probably don't know, because we're just starting out. So there's an easy tool in Dreamweaver that we can use, and I'm just kind of showing you some basic things, like using a margin. We've been playing with the properties. I showed you width, which is crucial for you to know. A little trick with the UL and the LI that we can do actually on the other page. Let's do that and let's see how that works. And then we'll get into that last little bit. Okay, and this one still needs a lot of stuff. Things that we've done to this page need to get moved to the other page. So actually, why don't we copy everything from the H1 to the list? Let's move that all and get this page starting to look like the other one, which is the idea. Yep. There we go. And we see that disappears. We have a width. So actually, let's take a look at this in the web. Yeah, we got a little grid there. Okay, and we could probably maybe even make them smaller, and maybe even space them out a little bit more. I think smaller and spaced out more would be the best. But let's get back to Dreamweaver, and let's just stick with this page for right now because we can add some more elements. All right, so where we could play around with some more, oh, my file thing disappeared, is, let's see, let's get that open. Oh, and that is open. That's the designer. That's what I want to show you. Window CSS Designer. Okay. Now, the funny thing about the designer, oops, and this is how yours popped up, is that it shows you everything you've written a rule for. So if you want to use this designer to target a specific thing, but you haven't even written a rule for it yet, you do need to kind of put in a fake little, not a fake, but just like a holding spot. So say I wanted to do something with my image on this page, which we haven't done yet. So to target it, it's just the HTML, do image, and I'll just put some closing in some curly brackets, and then it should pop up in here. Yep, there it is. Okay, so let's say I pick one of these. Boop, I pick the paragraph. I want to do something with that. It gives me some kind of basic properties here. Okay. Oop, I clicked on the body by accident. And it has this show set, which actually isn't all the stuff you can do. So if that's on yours, click that and it should give you a lot more. So you can deal with layout. And I don't want you to go, I want you to explore this, but don't go so crazy that you're doing stuff that is way beyond your scope at this moment. Kind of stick to the stuff you know. Text, okay, I can change the color, font family, text align, all this kind of stuff, text decoration. You can get into word spacing, a bunch of little stuff here. You can get into a border, which we haven't dealt with yet. Background we're not dealing with. So let's stick with border and text and layout. Yeah, you'd want to set a width. Maybe, nah, you don't want to get into minimum heights. And here's a margin. and then padding as well, okay? Do not play with positioning. That's not for us yet. So let's look at actually our P tag. Let's do something and kind of demonstrate the padding. So let's put a border on it, but not a border that goes all the way around. That's kind of ugly. Let's give it like a little element on the side. So like something maybe right here. Or no, let's do the other side. Why not? Have fun. Let's put a border on the right-hand side. And a border is typically 3 elements. It's the width. So width, let's do a thick border. Style, none, dotted, dashed, double, groove. None would just be disappear. So let's do a solid, and then let's do a color. Let's give it like a splash of color, like maybe like that yellow. That could look nice. So something real crazy. All right, so there it is right there. Border right, thick, solid, and then the color. And let's see what we have. Okay, we get like a little line. That's what I wanted. Okay, but it looks ugly. It's like bumped up right against that. Okay, that's not cool. So let's get out of there. And let's go back. And how we're going to separate that now is with padding. Okay, so let's go up to layout. And I don't even really need to use it, but I'm in here, so I'm going to use it. And I can slide that. What if it was like, let's see what 30 pixels looks like. Yeah, it's got a little space. That looks kind of nice. And let's put one on the right-hand side on the H1. That would look cool. Okay, so it becomes like a, a pop of color. It's giving it a little contrast. Okay, so let's go back to Dreamweaver. We're almost done. So designer, where's my stuff now? Click in here. Where's all my stuff? There we go. I had to click in the CSS. H1 border, but let's do it on the opposite side. So it's like bouncing back and forth. Oops. I don't want that. Get rid of that. Get out of rims. There we go. So we could even do, let's do thick, style, solid, and then color. I should just copy and paste that color, but I'll just put this color in for now. Close enough. And then let's do padding on the left on that one. 30 pixels. Yeah, that looks cool. Even if you wanted it to have like, it'd be like a block. Out of there somehow. H1 block. You can do pixels, and you could say like, make it like a square, 45 pixels. That looks kind of cool. Okay, so save that. And then there we go. Yeah, that looks kind of nice. That's fine. Okay, and you would just keep going with this, creating hierarchy. See here, we're even getting into like splashes of color. We're adding graphic elements. exploring that CSS panel. And we're going to look at one more thing in that CSS panel in the last bit about looking at the web edge fonts. Okay, so you notice me like kind of messing up with this a little bit. It's a little weird because like depending on, again, it's like where you click, like, you know, all of a sudden now I'm in like, oh, what happened here? You just need to click back in your CSS to get all your selectors back. Okay, and you would keep messing around with that. So this gives you like a nice like list you can go through. Again, we're not doing background yet. I want a color. Okay, just stick with colors for the background. And text. Okay, so like text, a little bit with layout, not much. You know, we can set a width and margins and paddings. Those are the three things you should be doing in there. Text, you should feel free to play around with color, font family, style, weight, size, you know. Even the size for H1 could be a lot bolder, like give it real sense of scale. So like right now we're on medium. Let's change it to points. Okay, and let's try like making it like really quite big. Like 41, 40, that looks kind of cool. Okay, and then my box gets a little weird. I'd have to play with that again. Where did I mess with that? Keep it like that square. Okay, then you have a real nice jump in scale, and you know the fonts need a little bit more work, but those are the things you could do. Okay,